Ushakov. He is a man with a KGB background, not known for his liberal views in any way, and they, together with other hawks in President Yeltsin's entourage, are the ones who are making the running at the moment and who have his ear. I think it's all a rather disturbing sign. It's been accompanied by a propaganda campaign which has offered a great deal of disinformation about what's going on down there.
So to what extent does this reflect a shift in the balance of power in Moscow?
I think we've seen the balance of power shifting over the year, really, in Russia. We've seen even doves like the foreign minister, Andrei Kozyrev, moving towards fairly nationalist hardline positions over Bosnia, over NATO and so on. And this, I think, is a continuation of the same policy. It's a nationalist Russian policy aimed at restoring the integrity of the Russian Federation with very little understanding for the aspirations of the Chechens.
Angus, thanks very much indeed. There's more on Newsnight on BBC2 at 10:30, but from the 9 o'clock news.
Good evening. Two 17-year-old youths have been sent to jail for 15 years for killing a driver and a passenger. They were found guilty at the High Court in Glasgow of derailing a train at Greenock earlier this year. The driver was Arthur McKee, aged 35, and the passenger was Alan Nicholl, a 21-year-old student.
Craig Houston and Gary Dugan were found guilty of culpable homicide by the High Court, but they'd originally been charged with murder for placing concrete slabs on the railway at Greenock in June, causing a train to crash into a bridge, killing 2 people. They denied the charge, but while in custody blamed each other for the derailment. Their 15-year sentence shocked relatives and friends.
Ridiculous. 15 years. Ridiculous.
They never even done it!
But one of the crash survivors said justice had been done.
For me, I was thinking that sentences might get knocked down and what have you, so I was quite pleased that they actually got the full charge against him.
Counsel for Houston and Dugan say they'll appeal against sentence and conviction.
Reporting Scotland revealed tonight that the troubled Healthcare International private hospital in Clydebank is about to be sold to the Abu Dhabi government. It's only 6 months since it opened as a showpiece complex.
The receiver handling the sale of Healthcare International visited Abu Dhabi last weekend. As a result, it's anticipated the sale of the controversial private hospital will be concluded tomorrow. HCI, which opened in June, cost £180 million to build. Around 30 million of that was public money. The American-owned hospital, with its 260 patient beds and adjoining hotel, has been kept open since it went into receivership in November.
That's the news tonight from the television news team. Have a very good evening, and if you're off, a good holiday.
Hello, the fog is thickening up out there. Do take care. It's especially bad in western parts of England and down the Welsh borders at the moment. In parts of the West Country, it's already down to about 60 yards and thickening up too, and it's forming elsewhere as well. This is the foggy, frosty high that's giving all these problems over England and Wales. Lots more isobars over Scotland and Northern Ireland. A fairly breezy night up there, a milder night too, with rain at times from these weather fronts. These weather fronts toppling southwards across the country during the next few days, pushing the high gradually southwards into the continent, bringing rain and wind at times to all parts of the country. And these fronts do mean no white Christmas anywhere except on some northern mountaintops later on Christmas Day. Lots of lines on the chart, so a windy, mild day on Christmas Day for most of us, with the rain too in many places. A frosty night tonight though, my goodness, a severe frost in some central parts of England where temperatures at least down to -7, perhaps even a lot lower than that. Much milder weather over Northern Ireland and Scotland with wind and some rain working southwards as well. There could even be the odd shower in parts of the southeast too. This could give some very slippery roads during the course of a very frosty night down there. And those patches of dense freezing fog in many places persisting well into tomorrow, clearing quickly from northern England during the morning, but some patches of fog could persist all day in some central and southern parts of England and Wales, and there, where it does do so, very cold indeed. Further north, some heavy rain getting into northwestern parts of Scotland, causing some local flooding there, we think, by tomorrow night, but not in the densely populated areas. Very light winds indeed in the south, that's why it's foggy. Much stronger winds touching gale force in exposed parts of the north. And very cold indeed in the south, but really quite mild, 9 or 10 in the north. Saturday, more fog and frost in the south, wind and rain in the north. That wind and rain gradually spreading southwards to all parts of the country, except the far northwest of Scotland later on Christmas Day.
The Travel Show has its own Christmas California special on BBC2 in 15 minutes, including a guided tour of San Francisco by guest presenter Elliot Gould.
He's got soul.
Steer it up, little darling. Steer it up. Come follow me now.
He's got rhythm.
We're gonna rock the house. We're gonna move the crowd. Say it loud, we're black, welsh and proud.
He's got style.
Well, hello.
And he plays the ukulele.
Ding, 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 ding. Hey, Joe, ring.
He is Lenny Henry, Wednesday at 9:15 on BBC1.
Nobody is gonna hurt you now.
We are talking about fate.
I'm not Roman.
Don't you walk away from me!
You still killed Dad, didn't you?
Dead Again, Christmas Eve, 10 o'clock.
The exploration of the relationship between the young Dr. Frankenstein and his good-looking creation is concluded tonight in The True Story in 55 minutes. First on BBC1, the final episode of Jimmy Nail's Crocodile Shoes.
Christmas movie magic on BBC1.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Killing each other for money, for pride, for family.
Am I a gangster? It was not what I wanted!
The Godfather, Part 3. Tomorrow, 9:30.
Alone in Naples, an English nanny stands accused.
There were 3 fires at the Resigoti villa in 2 weeks, all since you joined the family.
It wasn't me. It's not true.
But with no clear motive.
Tell me everything, not just what you want me to hear.
I fell in love. You understand, don't you?
And no hard
The
evidence.
only time I've seen a case like this, there was suggestion of paranormal activity.
Of what crime can she possibly be guilty?
You think I'm a witch, don't you?
A story of dangerous obsession. Devil's Advocate, Wednesday the 4th of January on BBC1.
2 variations on the Frankenstein theme to see out the night on BBC1. At midnight, Mel Brooks' spoof with Gene Wilder and Peter Boyle. And first, the conclusion of Mary Shelley's retold classic, Frankenstein, the True Story.
This awful nightmare began after the death of my brother, William Frankenstein. My fiancée Elizabeth did not fully understand the intensity of my feelings. Why can't I raise life out of death, out of my brother's corpse?
That's how Satan tempted our Lord.